Designer burnout isn't something that you hear a lot of people talk about. When people discuss design, they like to think about it as a great career choice that you're going to enjoy and what it is that they like to do or whatever. But the reality is that eventually you're going to run into a conflict. And if you don't think about it ahead of time, it could cause you some problems. When you came into this field, you might be like a lot of new designers who think someone's going to pay me to be an artist, right? Like that's what you might think the job is. You get paid to make art. It's even in the title, right? A lot of beginning level graphic design jobs are called graphic artists, right? You're not being paid to be an artist. No one's paying you to make art. You're being paid to solve problems. That's what designers do. We solve problems. An example is a company needs to communicate to their target audience better, and they need visuals to do that with. That's a problem to solve. There may be art involved with it, but at the end of the day, they want you to solve a problem. And what you need to understand is that you can't expect your job to be 100% creatively satisfying. It's just not going to be. You're working for somebody else. You're doing creative work for somebody else. That's why they're paying you. It's not the company's responsibility to keep you creatively satisfied. Right? You shouldn't take a job with the expectation of, I enjoy being creative and I'm going to be completely creatively fulfilled here. When you design for others, you will always have to make compromises. You will come up with a solution, a design that you really love, and then you're going to have to take it to your creative director or your art director, and they're going to make changes. And you may not agree with those changes, or you may not like what they came up with as a better alternative for those changes. But it's your job to make them, whether you like it or not. And when that process happens over and over and over again, you can kind of get your creative sensibilities can get a little blunted, and you can start having thoughts like, well, why am I even trying to do what I want to do when they're just going to change it, right? Well, again, that's your job, and that's what they're paying you for. So it's important to keep that in mind. The other thing to understand about humans is that we always want more, right? As soon as our lives are really good, as soon as you have a good design job, you're going to want to do more design work. You're going to be able to say, I'm a professional in this field. I want it to be more creatively satisfying than it is. Like it's only going to, even if you get into a position that is creatively satisfying, it's not going to last forever. You're eventually going to potentially be resentful for having to make those changes, even if it's a really good job, even if it does have really artistically satisfying results to it. The better our lives are, the more we want. You see that in multiple fields and all across the board when it comes to culture. Am I saying don't go into design because you're going to get burned out? No, I'm not. What I'm saying is you need to do design for yourself. You need to do design that's 100% yours, that you can, at the end of the day, say, you know, what I do at work may be a little frustrating at times because I have to answer to a client, or I have to answer to a creative director who makes decisions that I don't agree with, but I'm forced to make the changes. And, you know, it can be very demoralizing because sometimes you feel like you're ruining a really good design. And what some designers will do is they'll take the version that they like and stick it in their portfolio. And that will alleviate some of the pain that goes into that. It lets out some of the pressure. But still, if you do freelance work and you have a client, they will very often they'll very often choose the thing that you spent like 10 minutes on and not choose the thing that you spent 10 hours on. And that's a whole nother video of the mindset that you're in when you get into certain designs. But just be aware of that there will be lots of compromise. And if you can do your own stuff on the side, anything, it will fulfill you in a way that will give you the kind of professional detachment that you need at work. So think of it like this. If you guys are doing a 401k, right, or if you're doing some kind of retirement plan at your job, before you get that paycheck, they take out some money and stick it into your retirement account for you, right? The investment concept there is pay yourself first. So before you get your check, you're already paying your future self, right? That's who we're dealing with now as well, by the way, is your future self, your future design self that isn't going to get burned out and want to leave this industry and go, open a restaurant or whatever it is that people do when they get tired of doing graphic design. You're going to pay yourself first with your creativity. You're always going to have something on the side, whether you've got your own t-shirt line or you make signs or you do calligraphy or you draw. Anything that lets you get that creativity out so that you can put something online, you can throw it up on Instagram, YouTube, whatever, and you can say, that's 100% me. I didn't have to make any compromises in there. That's exactly what I wanted it to look like. And again, that will give you that professional detachment in your work. Big picture here is don't expect other people to make you happy. Don't expect your art director to make you happy. Don't expect the owner of the company you work for to make you happy. Do not expect your clients to make you happy. You're the only person that can make you happy. And it's selfish, right? Creativity is a selfish pursuit. Again, topic for another video, but creativity is a selfish pursuit and you have to feed yourself. Feed yourself with creative products that are 100% yours, and you'll be a much happier graphic artist. Go farther in your career and not burn out.